Today, the top 16 performers have attracted a crowd of almost 7,000. Some have particular favourites, and others have just come along to enjoy a gymnastics competition.
Well, there's no doubt about who you're supporting. Where have you come from?
City.
And all shouting for Joanne. Do you think she's got a good chance?
Every chance, we hope.
Are you all from one gymnastics club?
No, we're
the
family.
Friends.
Ah, the family and friends. Hats specially made and everything.
Yes.
All specially made.
Yeah.
Where have you come from?
Tewkesbury in Gloucestershire.
It's a long way. Did you start up this morning?
Well, at 9:45.
And do you compete in gymnastics yourself?
Well, at school I do, yeah.
Hello, where have you come from? See the competition.
Barkingside.
From Barkingside? Are you members of a club or from a school or what?
Club.
Which club is it? Barkingside Gymnastics Club. Did any of you enter for the competition when it began?
No.
What do you like about gymnastics?
It's good. It's very good. It's okay. I mean, it's good, but I mean, the movement.
And are you intending to go on and compete further yourselves?
I hope so.
So let's meet the finalists. Sarah Broadhurst from Cheetham Hill Gymnastics Club and Mark Booth from the Calderdale School of Gymnastics.
Andrea Bridgeford from Cheetham Hill also, and Patrick Booth from Manchester.
Lee Morris from Meadowbank and Stuart White from the Eston Club on Teesside.
Julie Larton of Steel City Gymnastic Club, and Sean Potter from Middlesbrough.
Helen Pridham from the Olga Club in Poole and Neil Thomas from North Staffs.
Jackie McCarthy from Loughton Hall Gymnastic Club, and James May from Hawks Gym Club.
And also from Loughton and Hawks, Joanne Gawley and Jeremy Dangerfield.
Jackie Box from Park Olympic Gym Club, and Roman Edwards, Milton Keynes Gymnastic Club.
16 gymnasts who have won through to Wembley to compete for the coveted title of Thames Television's Junior Gymnast of the Year.
And to open the competition, the youngest boy, Neil Thomas, 14-year-old from the North Staffordshire Club, coached by Mike Weinstock. Quite an ordeal for this young lad.
12-year-old Sarah Broadhurst about to take her second vault. The girls, of course, get 2 chances. There, the same one again. Half turn onto the horse and a double twist off it. That's 9.25 for her. And now, also vaulting, Helen Pridham. She's from the Olga Club in Poole and coached by our own Monica Phelps, who's down there watching very anxiously. A nice straight onto the horse and a full twist off. 8.75 for Helen. And a couple of words of advice from Monica.
Preparing for her second vault. And it's a half twist on and a double twist off. A difficult vault for a young girl. She's only 11 years old. And it's interesting to see the mark, 8.8, because the judges have no specific guide as to how many marks that vault is worth. It's one of the newer vaults.
Chirpy little gymnast, Jackie McCarthy from Hitchin, trains at Loughton under Christine and Colin Still. And a full twisting Sukahara. Something to spare there. An excellent vault from her, 9.2. That's the sort of start she'll have been looking for. Colin Still there with her. Now Helen Pridham onto her second piece of apparatus, the asymmetric bars. Helen, a very tall girl, very graceful, but it makes the rotations on these bars that much more difficult. Oh, and she was a little bit slack there and never got up to the handstand. But out of it very cleverly. And well finished. That was a very good routine from Helen because she made a mistake but recovered well. And 8.2.
From Meadowbank in Scotland. A handspring with a full twist, showing good flight from the horse. Lee was the top scorer from the north, and she scores 9 for a sound vault. Now to Jackie Box, the favourite in the girls' competition, but this isn't her favourite piece of apparatus, and she needs a good start. A Sukahara straight, not as well as she has performed it in past competitions, and only 8.75, so she's trailing on the first piece of apparatus.
The girls and the boys split into 2 groups, and the last to vault is Julie Larton. Good speed. Oh, actually that looked a bit nasty as she landed there. She seemed to twist. Yes, I thought so. Poor Julie, she's fought through right from local competition through the area competitions, and then on her very first piece of apparatus on the big day, a fall there, and it does look like a painful one.
We'll notice exactly where this vault went wrong. The takeoff is good. The half twist on is short, and so she hasn't got enough rotation. She pulls the pike as deeply as she can, turns it up the feet to try to save the landing, but really she landed short. In warm-up, she didn't even land one of the vaults.
Well, hurt she might be, but bowed she's not. Even at this age, young gymnasts, very tough competitors. She's pulled herself together, and she's going for that second vault. I could see her steel herself there. And that time, absolutely determined not to under-rotate, overdid it, but that's a better vault, and she should improve her score. Yes, and that's the one that counts, 8.3. It's now just a question of how much damage she's done to that ankle as to whether she can go on and complete the competition. Tears, but she looks okay at the moment.
Lee Morris, only 13 years old and one of the better gymnasts to come from Scotland, which is becoming far more strong in the gymnastic fraternity. Too many moves on the bottom bar there from Lee. Appearing to be a very short routine, without enough movements going over the top bar, but 7-9, a safe score. Jackie Box now prepares for her asymmetric bar routine, and the pressure is really on. Currently only in 5th position, and this is her strongest piece of apparatus. Half twist up start. Immediate Stalder handstand. Repeating the Stalder handstand on the bottom bar. Some very difficult work. See how she moves briskly from bar to bar, passing through handstands and wrapping the bottom bar for a hex dismount. Well, that exercise would rate highly in any international championship, so I don't think any of her rivals could match that particular routine. With movements like this up to hip rest, a somersault from the bottom bar over to catch the top bar. She performs all of these difficulties so adequately. Here we see the wrap bouncing off the hips into the somersault, spreading the legs to accelerate rotation. 9.2, a magnificent score. To the asymmetric bars. I bet her family are willing her on. She had a very bad start on vault, falling on both vaults. Let's see what she can make of this routine. Joanne works with the bars very wide. The gymnasts can choose how far apart they work the bars. Oh dear, and another mistake, a missed handstand. And perhaps she could have recovered a little better and disguised the mistake. Difficult dismount, double back somersault to finish. 8.3, and it could have been much higher. She really must try and control her nerves. She's looking very despondent.
Monica has gone down to just have a few words with her gymnast, Helen.
Yes, no doubt everybody is. So what you've got to do is control the nerves, right? Because it's those who control the nerves who stay on. Yeah? Concentrate. Treat it like a training session. Maybe think of every move as you do it. And concentrate what's going on the beam. There's no reason why you should fall.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Jackie McCarthy could have done with those words. I'm sure she had them from Christine Still, but she just went for a very ambitious front somersault mount and paid the penalty. 0.5 deduction there automatically for coming off the beam. Regained her composure very well, though. Two nice flick-flacks. There, the difficult tuck-back somersault. And a full twisting straight back somersault to finish with. A nice routine apart from that opening fall. Few words from her coach. She is quite happy telling Helen overcoming those nerves, and Monica looking impassive, but I'm sure she's not.
She's from the Olga Gymnastics Club at Pool, Helen Pridham.
On the beam, each of those wobbles will be subject to deduction. So you've got to be very, very confident. She's got a nice rhythm going now. Free cartwheel. And the flip flag.
She's just got to go steady here. Good girl. Well done.
Well, somebody's content at least. Monica, pleased with her performance.
Right. I was in the way of the judge, so I just didn't bother to come in, and you got a little bit of a wobble, right? So I didn't come in and take the board out then. Okay, sit down.
8.3. Welcome back. After 2 pieces of apparatus, 12-year-old Jackie McCarthy was in the lead by just 0.05 of a point in the girls' competition. But then she had a fall on the beam, and her nearest rival, Jackie Box, who's about to go, has a golden chance to catch her.
I've watched Jackie Box in competition since she was 8 years old, and as yet I haven't witnessed her fall from this piece of apparatus. She isn't perhaps the most elegant of beam workers, but she is tremendously confident. The famous Chapuznikova planche, a movement of C difficulty rating. That's the highest difficulty required. Free cartwheel, not too stretched from this end view, into an immediate tuck-back somersault. And a cartwheel double twisting back somersault to finish. And even though the beam is only 1 meter 10 centimeters from the ground, she managed to get 2 twists in, and she scored 9.1 for a very accurate routine. And Jackie McCarthy, the bouncy little gymnast from Loughton Hall, with everything to gain from a good floor routine. She really has had a tremendous competition so far. And there it is, the big move, double back somersault, and she smiles. That will really give her confidence to finish the routine. Front somersault, walk out into a flick-flack, and a somersault with a double twist is really piling in the difficulty. And another double twisting back somersault as her last tumble. And that had it all. Difficulty, personality, and beautiful musical interpretation to score 9.2.
Monica Phelps gymnast Helen Pridham. Her floor routine, a very anxious time for her. That 3rd place looking very close indeed. very elegant, but we haven't seen any of the very difficult tumbles as yet. Oh, and I think that's a mistake. She'd have been looking for 2 full rotations there to get the C grade of difficulty marking. Beautifully graceful. She's a lovely girl, perhaps lacking a little in difficulty, but will that be enough?
Drop to C. All right, get your breath. I feel tired after watching it.
Yes, Monica there, just saying she's Dr. C. Means that she didn't pull out those very difficult moves, but there we are, 8.2 the mark. Helen's happy, and that's the main thing.
Julie Larton, the little girl we saw in tears earlier on, she's managed to stay right through the competition, and she's on to her last piece of apparatus now. All the support the audience can give her, she's finding it very difficult to continue. She must be in a little bit of discomfort with her feet. An exhausted but very brave little girl who managed to stay right through the competition despite an injury on the first piece. Tremendously stressful situation for such a young performer. There her coach, Max Syme, comforting the injury and trying to boost her morale just a little bit.
Very brave little girl using that music on an ITV program. I was half expecting Jimmy Hill to appear. Instead, we got Roman Edwards on his final piece of apparatus, about to...
Now Jackie Box at a critical stage of this competition. Can she hold off Jackie McCarthy's 9.2 challenge? We've already seen her crack at the Albert Hall earlier in the year on this piece of apparatus. And there she goes, the same mistake again, over-rotated her double back somersault. She certainly can't afford one more minor error if she wants to win. A new floor routine and only the second time that Jackie has performed it in major competition. She missed that double pirouette. A lovely double twisting back somersault to finish. Well, I wonder what the judges are prepared to give that. 8.65, and so that means a tie.
And a tie means a countback. There can only be one holder of the title, so the title goes to the girl who was in the lead at the end of the third round. And that, as you can see, is Jackie Box. Nearly threw it away with that fall on the floor.
The title of junior
Wins on the
gymnast of
countback.
year is Roman Edwards.
And a clear winner of the boys' competition, Roman Edwards. A proud moment for him.
Just a word about what everybody gets here this
The
afternoon.
presentation
The
being
winners
made
each receive
by
a gold
Mr.
medal,
Brian
of course,
Cowgill,
a Thames
Managing
television
Director of
special
Thames
trophy,
Television.
a special leotard badge, and a £500 training.
And there we see Jackie Box and Jackie McCarthy each scoring 35.7. Jackie Box, of course, being in the lead by 0.55 after 3 rotations. But a consolation for Jackie McCarthy, who earned herself the Paul Lang Memorial Plate for the best floor routine. And I'm pleased, of course, that Helen Prudham came third with 33.45.
And the boys' result, first Roman Edwards, Stuart White second for the second year running, a noble effort with that bad foot, and third the very promising James May. But our two worthy winners, Roman Edwards and Jackie Box, and also here today, the winner of the first Thames Television Junior Gymnast of the Year competition, Terry Bartlett. It was almost sort of straight after
So that Jackie Box has her sights set on the Olympic Games too, and she and her father are hoping to visit America to benefit from their training methods and their facilities and knowledge. But we have seen today 2 fabulous young prospects on the British junior circuit, and I'm sure that they have a very, very exciting future.
And of course, this is just the start of their careers, and we on ITV should be following them. But for now, goodbye.